Hi, you're listening to Fantasia The Talkshow. This is a YouTube exclusive. I'm with the director and writer of Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway, Miguel Llansó. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I have a bunch of questions about movies,
Fantastic.
about the movie, because it's like a part spy movie from the 60s, part Matrix, part sci-fi movie. How would you explain this movie to the people at home?
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of things from James Bond to, I don't know, to David Lynch.
Yeah.
So I like to, and also I feel inspired by many things in life, especially by cartoonish presidents like Donald Trump or like this guy who cut people in pieces, the Prince of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I feel very much inspired by them.
You play with a lot of like historical figure in the movie. There's Stalin is there's some movie star. Where do you put them like in those movies? You want to play with archetypes or?
Yeah, in my previous films as well as in this one, I like to play with archetypes, but also pop objects.
Yeah.
So I like to place people and objects and kind of give another meaning to to them, and even surreal meaning.
Part of the movie plays in like a virtual reality world, kind of in the Matrix, but it's like 60s style with frame cut out of it. How did you manage the effect? Because at first I was like thrown back. What is this? What's happening? What is that?
Ah, yeah, that's very funny.
Yeah.
That's basically it's a stop motion, but with humans.
Yeah, how you manage that?
So basically, we animate my brother and my friend Agu. We put them in the stage, and it's like picture, picture, picture.
You did frame by frame?
Frame by frame.
Oh, okay.
And poor guys. And so we wanted to do half of the film like that.
Okay.
And we were shooting like for 15 days. And after 15 days, we had 1 minute. So I said like, fuck. So if we want to make half of the film like that, we are going to finish in 2055.
Yeah, it will be finished for Fantasia.
Yeah, for Fantasia of the future, you know, for
Okay.
Fantasia to the year 2050. But so, yeah. So finally, we stick to 10 minutes.
Okay. So, but you didn't like film all sequence and took frame out of it. It's really...
No. It's frame by frame, like puppets, but
Yeah.
instead of puppets, it's my brother.
Okay. Part of the origin of the movie, it's interesting because you wanted to film it in Ethiopia, and there's no funding for cinema there, and you cannot have funding from Europe to go in Ethiopia. Can you explain the situation?
Yeah, it's always the same. You know, the fundings are very based on national basis, and because the Canadian wants to have Canadian actors, the Estonian actors, but I think we live in a time of globalization, right?
Yeah.
And so we want to make international films. So yes, we have to manage in a different way. We made a crowdfunding,
Yeah, the Kickstarter.
a Kickstarter, and then we have friends all over the world that help us a little bit with the financing.
Were you able to make the movie you had in your head because of the Kickstarter? You didn't have any producer behind you to say, we don't want to do this puppet like frame animation stuff?
No, we have been working with the same people, which are my friends. And we started making films in Ethiopia in 2008. We made a very good team, and then we have been making all the films together for more than now 12 years.
So you wanted to film in Ethiopia for those reasons?
Yeah, well, Ethiopia for me is very inspiring, you know. I can tell you, for instance, we went to shoot there, and there was a guy, an old guy, who was making these caves, no? Where can you find a place where a guy dreamed with an angel saying you have to make a system of caves? And he has spent 40 or 50 years of his life making a system of caves, you know? And then he tries to tell to the church, look, here is the church, here's my gift to the church. And they say, no, man, we don't want it. And so these kind of things only happen in Ethiopia. Crazy things, amazing landscapes, amazing music and people. So it's kind of, for me, a source of inspiration. Yes.
Can we talk about the lead of the movie? Because he was in your first feature. This is your second main feature. Daniel Tadesse. How do you manage to find this guy? Because he's quite amazing.
Daniel Tadesse, I found him, he was performing Blood Weddings, the Lorca play at the National Theatre in Ethiopia. And you know, Blood Wedding is a very super tough theater play.
Okay.
drama, you know. But with Daniel on the stage, it turned into a total comedy, like absurd comedy. So I saw him and I said, like, this guy is totally amazing.
He's amazing at balancing humor, but also drama. You feel for him in the movie because he's heartbroken, everything goes wrong for him, but at the same time, he can make you laugh like in a second.
Because he is a very empathic character, you know, and that's sometimes we miss in the Hollywood films, that the people is very handsome and in a very stereotypical way, but they lack certain kind of empathy. And I like other films, like, for instance, Kaurismäki, in his films, all the characters are super empathic and super weak. And they are not this kind of epic hero, but this kind of tragic hero.
Yeah. Okay. So coming from your main feature and doing this one, there was something you want to explore that wasn't able to do in the first one?
Kung Fu, Kung Fu.
It's basically it?
Yeah, Kung Fu, some action.
Okay.
But always like with a base of certain astonishment for the things that are happening in the world, like for the way the globalization is taking shape. But so I try to make it funny and not like a boring piece of... I don't want to hit anybody with a Kant book, you know, or Heidegger book in the...
Well, it's quite an impact. The movie does an impact on you. Next project, what are you going to work on?
I don't know.
No?
I have to rest.
You don't need to rest.
Well, I want to do some kind of science fiction film in Ethiopia.
Okay, again in Ethiopia? Okay, but I'm looking forward to see it. It was Miguel Llansó, the director of Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway.
I think that people should make films, even if you, if you have $1 or if you have $1 million or $2 million, you have to make films, and we should share the film. So the beautiful thing about the audiences is that they are not only just people that come to see the film, but sometimes they do their films, and then we get in touch, and then we form a community where everybody makes his own or her own work of art.